Sorry, I got a cat in my lap. It looks like Nantucket, small little island off of Massachusetts. You and I need to have a talk. It's time for an intervention. Talking to you, man, Nantucket. Hold on. I got a cat. I got a cat in my lap. You've heard of the Cat in the Hat, but I've heard of the Cat in the Lap. It's a new book I'm writing. Welcome. Welcome. I should have had the backdrop up. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, man. Oh, man. Thank you. All right. An email just came in. Let's check the news. Oh, look at this. A lot in the news. A lot is happening in the news, and today we're going to have an intervention with the island of Nantucket. This island right here. If you don't know, Massachusetts has two major islands. We got a little dingle islands, a bunch of little dingle islands, Castle, and I don't know what that one is, but a lot of little dinglers and danglers. We got a ton of little dangler islands out in the I like to call this the Boston Caribbean, the White Caribbean. That's what I call it. That's it. Yeah, the White Caribbean, because it's filled with yacht bros, you know. And we're gonna have an intervention with this one right here. It even looks like a nose. Isn't that funny? I never thought of that. Look, there's the sniffer right there. Definitely looks like a nose. And you see people like this. If you just Google image Nantucket bros, you'll find this. I don't know why they're all wearing pink salmon, probably salmon pants. Are they going to the salmon running? But you'll see guys like that on Nantucket. Whenever I think of Nantucket, I always think of Bradley Cooper from Wedding Crashers. He's the atypical Nantucket bro. You catch him there all summer doing his bro, I got a sixer. You want to go on the yacht tour? But here's what we got to talk about, Nantucket. We got to have an intervention, and we're going to today. We're going to, because Nantucket's got a problem with the jungle dust. You know, the old Bolivian pixie sticks. Some people call it Tom Segura's powdered Ozempic. What else do they call it? The vegetarians, the vegan nose caffeine. Nantucket's got a major malfunction. Absolutely bananas. What's going on in Nantucket? And you know, when people like to have their biases against poor areas, and they say it's, you know, overrun with the drugs. It turns out some of the wealthiest places in the world, in the U.S. at least. Hold on, where is the stat thing? I got a stat. Stat an island. Where did I know I had a stat thing? Oh, it was in the story. We're gonna get into the story. Was it in the story, or did I take a picture of it? Hold on. Now you're gonna wait for a second, because did I not take a picture of it? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, where is it? 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 Did I not do the photo of it? I guess I didn't. I guess I just read it. Oh my God. I just read it. But we're going to talk about this story. Turns out the home price, the average home price in Nantucket was this it? No. That's how much tax money is being wasted. But the average home price was like over $1 million, like $2 million for Nantucket. It's the most expensive average median home price in the U.S. And I thought I took a photo of it to show you. You're just gonna have to trust me on this one, folks. Or you could use the internet yourself, God forbid, asking me to do all your work. Hey, what's up, Soulless? Kevin Hawthorne, Nathan's here, Edward. Good to see everybody. Nantucket people with their Nantucket faces doing Nantucket things in their Nantucket places. That's the old saying. You must be from Massachusetts. Good afternoon to you, Kevin. Hope you're doing well. We're having some severe weather warnings here in Massachusetts. They said possibly tornadoes, and I thought, oh fuck, I gotta move. Hate tornadoes. This is the one natural disaster. No. Earthquakes do. The reality of the earth opening up and swallowing me is terrifying. But the other one is the earth doing a wind funnel and throwing me. Those are the two that I really don't like. But everything else I'm fine with. Hey Rob, my socialist American friend. What's up, Blackerlin? My German, I don't know how else to qualify you, friend. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. What time is it out in Germany? It's got to be like 11 p.m. or something. I hope you're doing well. Solus reminds me of that pred I caught, sending a pic of him holding a bag of booger sugar. Cops love that picture. Oh yeah, they love when you send them the picture of him holding Tom Segura's bag of powdered Ozempic. You know, the old energy rush. Do you see all the pictures of Schlepp on YouTube, Solus? He's doing CrimeCon. So Schlepp is a YouTuber who was busting predators on Roblox. Huge story because Roblox banned him, you know, to make it safer for the predators. You can only assume. And now he's at CrimeCon with Chris Hansen, and he's doing busts. And in his community tab on his posts, I keep seeing popping them up. He's like busting predators out of CrimeCon. He's being the decoy. Good for him. You know, some people's life passion is that, and they're keeping the streets clean. But you be careful. I'll tell you what. I got my Christ to fix, okay? Let me take down the Vision Quest thing. I got my Christ to fix today, so you better watch yourself, because I'll ban you, okay? I brought the special, wait, where, oh, here we go. I got my deep fake glasses. In case you don't know, I found these on the floor of a Burger King bathroom. I put them right on. I didn't even wash them. And when I tried them on, I said, oh my God, I can identify any deep fake. So we're gonna run the news through the old deep fake goggles. We got some audio to get to. Some Joe Rogan needs a pair of these deep fake goggles because he got duped. If you think he's a smart man, rethink your life. And then we're going to play some audio. We talked about this the other day on the live stream. How the Trump regime, you don't call it an admin when it's a regime, claimed to bomb a boat or something from the air from a drone with no due process, no solid evidence, and they bragged about it on official platforms, which was very weird. And we're going to listen to some audio from Brad Bernstein at law. I wonder if he was one of the bears, the Bernstein Bears. I loved them as a kid. Loved all their books. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the G. I'm just kidding. Humpty Hump. What was his real name? I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Because I actually want to show you something about Tupac. I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God. Gregory Jacobs, rest in peace. When did he pass away? Anyways, when did Shock G pass away? Gregory Jacobs. April 22nd of 2021. Rest in peace, Shock G. I watched a YouTuber who went and showed his gravestone. He's in a mausoleum. And if you don't know Shock G, he lived an absolutely amazing life. So we say rest in peace because it was a severe loss. All right, we got to get to some meme news. We got to listen to some audio. And in the meme news, because it is, God dang, it keeps getting cut off. But because today is September 6th, I believe, as long as we all set our clocks and coordinated that, you understand that we all just coordinate, that we agree that that's the day today. If we all decided it was tomorrow, it would be tomorrow. So we have the power, folks. But on this day, Tupac headed to a warehouse in Los Angeles to shoot his final music video, Toss It Up, and also recorded 3 songs, Hell for a Hustler, All Out, Die Slow, and Let's Get It On, in homage to the upcoming Tyson fight. So, a little homage to Tupac. gone too soon. What is this? Is this the, ooh, yeah, let's go over a little meme news. Just spoke, I seen this on the social medias. They're saying RFK Jr. has ordered officials to hide TB cases that are reported in Maine and suppressing the old buck, 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 buck flu. So not good, you know, because when you're dealing with a regime that everything reflects on their ego, you know, they can't have any critique. Everything has to be perfect. Some of you might have had parents like that, which I feel bad for you. You just need a hug and be told you're human. You know, we're all human. We're all gonna make mistakes. But you know, some of these people are gonna be the death of us. Here's some more meme news. You see this from July last year? I'm voting for this guy, Epstein's best friend, for the economy and to own the libs. Guys, can I just talk to you for a second? We gotta stop trying to own each other. You know, we fought a whole civil war about that. A whole civil war about owning people. So really, this mentality has got to go. It's garbage, absolute rubbish. You know, this whole I gotta own people mentality. And let me push an idea that instead of trying to own your neighbor, how about you come together with them and reject the way things are structured? You know, because it's broken. It's not working for us. Well, it's not broken. It's actually working exactly as it's intended to work, and that's for the wealthy people. So, you know, let's stop with the all I'm going to own people thing. But let's check in with old Austin Peterson and see how they're doing in May of 2025. Well, there went my shoe business. Of course, you did shoes. Of course, you probably like to smell them first, weirdo. I don't understand why the tariffs have to eliminate the de minimis exemption. We talked about that here on the live stream. I'm Rob, and we comment on the news. Newsmentary is what I call it. YouTube, feel free to start a genre of that and put me at the top. And we talked about that. That's for small businesses that do under like $800 of worldwide shipping, and they don't have to pay the tariffs or anything. And Donald Trump said, "Oh no, you don't. F you, and we'll get rid of it." So they got rid of that exemption. It says, why did government punish small businesses in this country, knowing full well that Nike and the big brands will be fine paying the taxes, but Steffi and I get wiped out? Who's Steffi, Austin? Who's Steffi? Why should we care about them? Give us a little more context, because right now we don't care. Remember, you were talking about owning the libs last year? Jefferson City, Missouri. Ugh, has anything come out of Jefferson City, Missouri that's good? I don't know. You tell me. Do they have a food or something? All right, let's get to the next meme. Hey, what's up, Teacup? Are tweets legit references? Yes. In the year of our Lord 2025, Mike, they are now part of the worldwide Rolodex of Encyclopedia Britannica factualities. This is how we've documented human life now. Oh, maybe Mike's new to Earth. So, Mike, people start these things, social media accounts, and then they share their life on them. So we take those documents and we Rolodex them. The White House has a tweet of every single president ever in the history. George Washington's tweets were gnarly. So yeah, that's how we're gauging things, Mike. Thanks for taking everything very seriously. Men should be like Rob. ACC. Are you AC Slater's cousin? All men should be like God, a woman. Nothing good in Jeff City. Old Jeff City. You know RG has been told Jeff City if you're calling it Jeff City. I like that. Yeah, I've never been there and would never want to go to Jefferson City. Let me check the deep fakes. Oh, no, that's a real place. My God, that's a real place, folks. So yeah, let's stop owning the libs and let's get on to the next meme news. The meme news for Mike. He's not yet, guys. So this was a truth, whatever, that's a thing now, of the president who's saying, I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. And then he did Shypocalypse Now, with, again, he had to AI himself on some other dude's body. He had to do a gender affirming thing. That's what the the right wing calls gender affirming. They're very much against it unless their president does it, not my president. So yeah, that's, the president. Is he being serious? I know they seriously changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War, but I think I have a sound for that. Ooh. Yeah, ooh. Could you imagine? If I told you a year ago the dictator in chief would be tweeting out that he's gonna send the military, and Chicago's gonna find out why they renamed it to the Department of War. Would you believe me? That we would be going to the dictator in chief would be going to war in Chicago? I don't know. This is not very American, but who am I? And we're gonna get to the news that where is it? Nantucket. Old Nantucket. I wish I had a name for Nantucket. Nantucket's apparently got a real big problem with the rich man's dust off. Real big problem with the old jungle dust. The nose Zempic, if you know what I mean. Trying to be careful with my language on here. But yeah, we're going to get to that because we're going to have an intervention with Nantucket. A lot of wealthy people in Nantucket. A lot of wealthy people. What does this say? What is this reflecting about you wealthy people? Huh? Everybody thought it was the inner cities that were drug fueled. Turns out, no, it's the outer islands. The outer islands are. That median home price, $2 million. And look at them. And I guarantee you they're not just flushing all this jungle dust down the toilet. They're, flushing it through their body and then flushing it. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I'm Rob. Welcome to my Vision Quest. Hit subscribe. That button right there. It's free to do. And then hit the notification bell. I come to you live. Some people ask me if this is recorded, and I wonder if, their life is going okay. Some people struggle, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But this is my Vision Quest, much like the Joe Graham experience. This is a Vision Quest where we just ask questions, man. We joke about the news because the news is a joke. Did you hear? Did you hear the news? Nantucket. If you don't know what Nantucket is, I'm going to go through some of what it is. Sorry. The plug keeps hooking me. But yeah, Nantucket has a problem with the old powdered Ozempic, okay? The Bolivian pixie sticks. You get what I'm saying? The jungle flurries. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to talk about, what was the other thing we were going to talk about? What was the other story? No, don't look at that. We're going to read that in a little bit. Don't you look. Don't you look. Don't you look. Oh, yeah. The Trump website that tracks his golf, they were accusing the White House of concealing Trump's health issues, and they had to make an announcement saying, we're not tracking this dude anymore. Unless we spot him on a golf course, we're not registering it. It reminds me of a school in sick days. They're like, you can't keep saying you showed up and then taking off and thinking that counts as being here for one day. It reminds me when I was in school and they were like, we're going to register you as a truant. And I'm like, I was here for the first period. And they're like, yeah, that doesn't count. That does not count. That's an absence. That Fenty. No, it's not the Fenty. It's the old Tom Segura's powdered Ozempic. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of news to get to. But before, let's listen to, you might know this guy, Rogan. He eats a lot. He got famous for eating the most elk meat, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he consumed all of the elk in one sitting. It was like a Mr. Beast challenge. He said, if you can consume all this elk, you get $100 billion from Spotify. And this guy with that head was like, I could do it. And they were like, a guy of your stature, 3'8", we believe in you. And he got duped. I don't know if you've seen this video, but it's clearly a deep fake. It's clearly a deep fake. And old Rogan, the arbiter of truth and asking questions. I just want you to listen to this clip of Joe. I'm gonna play the audio from this. Okay, are you ready? You got to listen closely and how confident he is at being dumb.
And then that person goes wacky like Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a "fuck Trump" shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and
Now Joe's talking like this. He's going. You see him with the shirt on, and he's dancing. Like Joe's like, this is the physical embodiment of thinking you're owning the libs at this point. Again, what did I tell you about that? Nobody should be owning people. We had to fight a whole war in the 1800s about it. A war, people. And now you're loose language, loose lips sink ships, and you're going to sink this USS of America. And Joe is the physical embodiment of thinking like he got him. You know, like I caught this video of Tim Walz dancing around. I wish I had the video. You can see it right here. He comes down an escalator, this deep fake. Again, I got the glasses. Let me see. Yep, it's a deep fake, folks, because, you know, it said it on the video. But it shows this deep fake dancing down the escalator in this shirt that is clearly like, I don't know if you've ever made merch, and they're like, do you want to see your slogan on the t-shirt? And they badly layer it on top, you know, like it doesn't look like, you can see how there's like, see how when my shirt folds over and the light changes and the shadows, artists understand what I'm talking about. You know, but you would see a shirt wrinkled like this and it would just sit flat, so it looks really poorly done. And that's what that shirt looks like. Like the letters are perfectly straight, even though it's clearly, the shirt is clearly wrapping around. Like there's so many tells, you know. Like I'm very concerned for Joe that he's getting tricked by like easy ones, you know. Like easy one. Like this was an easy one. This was no person, camera, woman, TV, dog, cow kind of test. But this was like for the deepfake crew, you know, most of us would have passed. Most of us. And here's Joe. I'm going to start it again because listen, if you could just see his body, he's like, I can't even do it right because he is so excited that he thinks Tim Walz really did this. And then listen to when they try to tell him like, you're dumb. So again. Listen close.
Then that person goes wacky like Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a "fuck Trump" shirt on?
Yeah.
And
he's getting sassy too. Joe Rogan in this video. I wish you could see the video. He's going, you see he had his neck is doing like the, I just got out of Harlem and man, are my friends speaking with their body.
he's dancing and going down an elevator. Have you seen this video?
I haven't.
And it's an escalator, Joe. Maybe Joe's gotten too rich and he doesn't know that these are escalators. Elevators go. Elevator is probably what you have in your house, Joe. But it's okay, Joe. It's okay. We all make those dumb mistakes. I do it, you know, every minute.
Please play it.
You go full screen. On
Is
this.
that really this
Yes.
him?
It's real.
So Jamie in the background, they put a little subtitle that says, no, it's not real. And Joe goes, yes.
You go full screen. On
Is
this.
that really this
Yes.
him?
It's real. Yes, it is. No, it's real.
Jamie goes, it's AI generated. He goes, no, it's real. Like this is, and again, this is just a little insight when he's watching this clearly fake AI generated video. Toe Bogan, the Joegram from the Joegram, he has the third eye, you know, so he just believes everything. Joe might not know what a third eye means, but this gives you insight into how much confirmation bias Joe has. If Joe believes, if old Toe Rogan, I squish your head. If old Toe Rogan wants it to be real, because he wanted to own the libs and be like, look at how dumb Tim Walz looks dancing down that escalator. It's like, at what point do you think Tim Walz, this, 60-something-year-old guy, is doing this? And I'm sorry, but Tim Walz, I saw the video. Tim Walz doesn't have those kind of moves. I could just tell. I have the glasses. Not only these can identify deepfakes, but I put those on. I can go, you dance. You can kind of dance. You got rhythm, but you can't dance. So it's just another gift God gave me. Don't you fucking challenge me. Do you see what I'm holding? The crucifix? You can't challenge me. In the name of our Lord, Jesus Christ, he gave me the gift. He gave it to me. So Toe Rogan, confirmation bias, like wild. He wants it to be true so bad. So he's, fight, even though they're like, it says it's AI generated. He's like, no, I refuse.
No, it's real. I love it. It's real. It's not real.
I love it. It's real. So that's the measure of Joe Rogan's intellect. Because I love it, it's real. And you could tell if you just listen to his podcast, which please don't. But when I have heard clips from it, and Cash Money Patel is like, Joe, there's a missing 3 minutes, and that's just how the videos record. We had the prison where Epstein was, and there's 3 minutes always missing out of every video. Just like, sounds good, man. That's very believable.
It's got to be real.
It has to be real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at them dancing. That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this...
Look at him dancing. That is so real. And now they have this clip up where he's dancing, and I'm like, listen, number one, this video with Tim, you can't see it here, but he has like breasts in the video where he's dancing. Like, it's not his body. But number two, like Tim, if you've seen his movements, the CIA talks about this, when they're trying to do covert ops. People walk with a certain gait, a certain cadence they speak with, so the CIA would talk about putting things in their shoes to make them walk different so they couldn't be recognized from their walk. Ha-cha-cha-cha. Everybody's got that. You're walking in somewhere. Hey, bada bing. Joe Rogan's walking in. He's like, girl, I've seen that. I'm owning that Tim Waltz. And this is just clearly not how Tim Waltz mannerisms happen at all. But Joe loves it so much because it makes his perceived enemies, because Joe's rich. So anybody who's like, tax the rich, Joe is deeply offended. And some of you probably are like, I'm deeply offended for Joe. How dare you tax him? He earned that money spitting out virality, and selling the brain mushroom pills that I consume daily. And the elk juice, I don't know what you guys drink, lick a toad or something.
This was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Waltz. The fuck Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
It's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant. Does it say that it's AI?
You're a plant. Now he goes, does it say that it's AI?
AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No,
Everybody says
the
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
I felt...
He goes, the video I played on top says it's AI generated. So there's your Toe Rogan. There's your Toe Rogan for the day. Hit subscribe. I'm taking all of Toe Rogan's experience and his audience. I don't know if you knew that. And now they're coming on a vision quest with me. Have a dream job. Just dream, folks. Okay? That's the new motto. We're ushering in the old podcast gods. Ushering out the old podcast gods. And the new live cast. No, it sounds too much like Timcast. The pod stream gods, the new pod stream gods are being ushered in. So get on the floatilla, the floatzilla, as the kids say. Yeah, that was Joe Rogan. We don't need to play any more of him, because most of his stuff is just state propaganda TV now. And welcome. Listen, maybe we're going to get to this now. Love the name Kermit. I do too. Who said that? KT Liz. Oh, good to see you, KT. Trolls needs hugs too. Yes, they do. It's no longer the millennials' era. Time to go back to school. FR thoughts and stuff. FR huff and stuff. I agree with you, but nobody can go back to school because the schools want you to take out a loan with, like 112% interest rate, and then the jobs aren't there because there's more unemployed people than there are jobs now. So, but I advocate for free college, higher education for everybody. And if you're like, that's crazy, Rob, I'm like, listen, in Massachusetts, we did it. We tax millionaires, not even billionaires. We tax millionaires, and anybody can go to community college and get a bachelor's degree. Anyone. Your cat, I'm enrolling all my cats, my dog, just so I can say, my pets are highly educated. So suck it, people. Taxes work. And the other thing is, like, our millionaires grew by 35% here in Massachusetts after we taxed them. So think about all the people that became millionaires after that tax, and they were like, thank God for that tax. So taxes work. What's the population? Population 1, you. Agent Smith says LOL, thank you. Claire, so many. Have no idea they are being laughed at. Who are we laughing at, guys? It better not be me. Agent Smith, if you don't have brain cells, don't bother commenting. That one-liner means nothing and accomplish nothing. Agent Smith is really cleaning up the chat. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I don't know who that was directed at, Agent Smith, but I feel like you're kind of whipping people into line. Holy smokes, I better get my... Sorry, Agent Smith is here, folks. Everybody step it up a notch, okay? In his presence. Jay Christian, I hope you become a millionaire. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's kind of you. Your type really doesn't wish that upon people, so that was nice of you to say. This guy is dishwater can't stream right. Duggo. Duggo. Kiss your mother with that mouth? Huh? It was directed to that guy calling us libtards. Oh, I figured, Agent Smith. I was just messing with you. I liked how you took a stand, though. Libtards. Somebody called us libtards? Guys, we're the radical left. Get it correct. I hate when they call us liberals. Don't you know the old saying, scratch a liberal and a fascist bleeds? We are the farthest thing from liberals. We're the farthest thing from rib rolls, okay? We are not, hold on. We are not liberals. We live Moss. We want to tax billionaires into extinction. No more billionaires, never a trillionaire. I know some of you are rooting for Oprah to be the first trillionaire, and I'm against it. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Like, do not go to school to play around. He has over 727, I'm dyslexic, 2,747. He has over 272 watching. What does it say? It disappeared. Shh. I can't find it. Keep scrolling. Thank you, Christian Palestina. Free Palestina. That's a cool last name. Multi-millionaire. Oh, Martin L. King. Are you related to the Martin L. King? Or as most of us know him, Marty King Jr., the old I'm a dreamer. Love that guy. Brian Best. People should be able to make as much money as they want to. No, wrong, Brian. Wrong. We're fighting to implement a maximum wage because they put a minimum wage in and they kept it at poverty levels. So, plus they don't really make that money. They just exploit other people. If you know anything. It's okay. His brain isn't on. Knock, knock, knock. Anyone there, McFly? Nope. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put on my deep fake glasses. Oh, shoot. He got me. He was a deep fake. He was a deep fake because no one is that dumb. All right. Nantucket is gorgeous. I've never been. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. Ooh, we're going to get to Nantucket. But listen, I got to be honest with you. I got to be very honest with you. They are using a little too much of the Colombian brain detergent, if you know what I mean. The old Tom Segura's powdered Ozempic, if you know what I mean. The old jungle dust, you know what I mean. The old yacht bro dust off for your nose, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. The sewage water is tracking how much they use, and they are coming out like, you know, everybody's always talking about, oh, the inner city has a drug problem. No, the outer islands have a drug problem. And that's what your news, Boston 25, says, okay? And I told you, look, severe thunderstorm warnings. So if I get electrocuted, I'm blaming you. But we got to listen to this. We got to listen to this guy. This is Brad Bernstein Law. And this is an interesting video. I'll play some of it for you, okay?
Video this evening, but I just finished reading that the Trump administration is patting themselves on their back for blowing up 11 people in a speedboat in the Caribbean. The administration claims that they were running drugs. Why would 11 people in a speedboat be transporting drugs?
You know what? I thought that too. We talked about this story and I showed you the photo from the drone that they released of the drone with the target over the boat. And they said 11 people in a speedboat. They were, the regime was just like, we don't really have proof, but they were doing the drugs. And I thought this is weird because if you've ever, you know, been a mule, you know, you're not like bringing along friends. You know, you ever watch Locked Up Abroad and they were like, yeah, it was me and all my friends doing an 11-person drug run. Like, hmm? 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 That old Jamaican snowtop powder wasn't going to transport itself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Angie, I seen you. I seen you, Angie978. Oh, masshole. Oh, you read chats with no stats? Oh, John, you like to rhyme? Take that. The old college education, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. The old sorority dustbuster, if you know what I mean. The old frat boy flower power, if you know what I mean. The old leaf caffeine, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I thought that was weird when we talked about this the other day and we looked at the photos of the drone and the speedboat and I thought, those fucking poor people. My God, nobody. I remember this movie when I was younger. You might have heard of it. It's called Judge Dredd. It's not the new one. It was the original one with Dr. Sylvester Stallone. Is he a doctor? I don't know. My memory's bad. But this guy, Sly Stallone, he was the Judge Dredd. And he was the judge, the jury, the executioner. He's also the cop. They never mentioned that. He was originally the cop and then judge, jury, executioner. So Judge Dredd would just go out, bust people, and then take care of all the business right there. It was a dystopian movie, not something to look forward to. Again, not what we were trying to get to, but here we are, and this is it. We have a regime that's like, ooh, what if Judge Dredd was real? But instead of like a person doing it, we had an AI drone. And some of you were supporting it. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. I got the glasses. I can see you. And you're like, I don't care, it wasn't me. Until it is you. Until you're with 11 friends drinking Mai Tais on a speedboat, doing a $1.90 through the Suez Canal. You know what I mean? And then, boom. Good night. Good night, Francis. Okay? All of a sudden, you're going to be praying. You're going to be praying. Hold on, let me bring it up. Shoot, that's not it. I disappeared. Hold on. You're going to be praying. You're going to say, I'm praying that Rob Hood's vision quest, F a dream, F a dream job. That word's important because in America, they're like, what's your dream job? Dream job. My dream is to not have a job. You understand that? You understand me? You suckers thinking, oh, I have a dream. And then you got Joe Rogan, who has technically a dream job. He sits in an air-conditioned place just eating elk meat all day and people listening to him trying to buy the elk meat. I don't know what he does. I don't watch his show. But you're going to be praying once they old Afghan Al, once the old, what do they call the bombs? Anyways, once the old AI drone your boat out of the water, you're going to be praying that Rob Hood's vision quest catches that in the news and brings it up and questions, what's the legalities of that lethality? You know? And that's what we'll say. And then we'll hashtag lethality, legality. What's the legality of the lethality? What is he, Judge Dredd? And your little ghost will float over my shoulder. Did you not see? This is why I brought this. Because your ghost will float over my shoulder and I'll go, by the power invested in me, by Jesus Christ himself. He came down and said, Rob, it's up to you. And I said, I take on that mantle. I take it on. And I will fight for those people who no longer have a physical body. And I will say, what? What if it was you on that speedboat? What if you were running drugs? You just get droned from the air? Is that how we operate here? Is it? So, don't come begging to me as a ghost. And I've done the paranormal videos. I have. Listen, you can go check on my channel. I've gone to haunted locations. I've contacted and communicated with the ghosts. I commune with them. Okay? They're real. But I don't want you coming to me as a ghost going, they droned my boat, you know? And I laughed at it when it wasn't me, and then boom, it happens to me. And you're going to be begging me. You're going to haunt me in my dreams, and you're going to be shutting doors, and opening the fridge and turning on lights, and I'm gonna go, fine, I'll talk about it on my live stream. Jesus. So we gotta finish this audio. Stop yapping and read our comments. I just did. Thank you.
That makes no sense. And even if they were smuggling drugs, since when do we kill people in international waters? When did the Trump administration become judge, jury, and executioner?
I just said that. When did they become Judge Dredd? I just said that. I should apply for a job with Bernstein law.
Yes, we should interdict them, arrest them,
We should what them? You better watch your language, Brad.
and if they had drugs in their boat and they were transporting it, yes,
You give them to Don Jr.
they should go to jail. Maybe for many, many, many years. But did they deserve to die?
No, I'll answer that. No, they didn't. They didn't. That was like America's thing. We had this thing called due process, where you had your day in front of a jury of your peers. It was like a cool thing we used to have. We don't have it anymore, but it used to. I'm old enough to remember that. So, Hunter wanted the drugs. Hunter's clean now. So Steve, he's in recovery. He wouldn't. But Don Jr., old Don, he looks like he could use them.
Any evidence against them other than this is what the Trump administration told us?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have, and we're going to get to Nantucket. We're going to. Maybe the speedboat was going to Nantucket. If you don't know, this is what we're talking about. We're playing audio from Brad Bernstein Law. But we're about to talk about this. So maybe this was the old Nantucket Express, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Maybe this was the old Nantucket Express. Sorry. And clearly it's time for some iced peppermint tea. But what did he say? I wanted to comment on that.
Die without any evidence against them other than and this is what the Trump administration told us?
That's it. Their evidence was trust me, bro. We have a government that says the evidence is trust me, bro. Epstein files doesn't exist. Trust me, bro. We droned a speedboat with 11 people. Trust me, bro. You guys should have an issue with this. You should. You. Am I pointing at you? I can't tell. I can't see you. Who goes to Nantucket again? I don't know. I've never been. I actually do know a few people, and they're very wealthy, and they're not nice people. They don't like the pores. That's my issue with them. How do you know they are terrorists without due process? Thank you, Claire. Exactly. Michael, good to see you. How's the West Coast? Due process is about proving guilt. Everyone deserves it. Everyone. Oh, and Chief's here. What's up, Chief? Sorry, I've been off on a tirade. Somebody even, Great Man, I think, yelled at me about not reading the comments. So maybe I'll read all of them except for his. We are screwed. Thanks, MAGA. Yeah, have you even said thank you to MAGA? They totally got rid of due process. Have you said thank you? That's not today's segment. We're not doing that today because today is the weekend. It's the Lord's weekend. Every weekend is the Lord's weekend. Jesus wanted it that way. And Jesus wanted us to only work 3 days a week. Jesus wasn't working no full-time job. You give me a break. I'm trying to live like the Lord, okay? I'm trying to travel around, heal some people, put out good vibes. Jesus was basically on a 24/7 vision quest, traveling hippie. Come see the traveling hippie. Heal your blind friend. I'm just trying to live like Christ. Why are you trying to, impede on me? Tell me get a job. Do you not believe in Jesus? Do you not hear what I'm saying? Ask you that. J-Lo, it's about oil. Venezuela has the biggest reserves all over the world. Ooh, J-Lo, good insights. Thank you. I believe you. I'm not going to look it up, but I believe you. Because I'm like Joe. This is a little bit where I get like Joe Rogan. Sounds good. I believe you. But if I need to find out if you're a deep fake, I put on the glasses. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. There is no other, Josh said it. What a guy. That's what he said. Don't read the live stream comments. Just trust me. Just put your faith in me like you do Joe Graham, Toe Bogan. And just trust me. Josh said, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep scrolling, Josh. Keep doom scrolling. Have a good day, kids. You too, kids. Jesus was black. But thank you, S. Zilius. Is that a new strain of flu? Jesus didn't say that. Peter did. Peter said what? I'm not sure if I like Peter too much. Do you guys like Peter? We should do a poll, you know? Who do you like the most? I didn't like Paul, but he wrote some interesting things. Peter, what is it? His great basilica. I don't like that they're building these mansions for these apostles, you know? Less than have died by yours, David. What the fuck does that mean, board nurse? My Christ. Why was Jesus black? Well, because he was Middle Eastern. You think he was white? Jesus is king. I don't see enough people saying Jesus is GOAT, you know? Just a thought. We're going to get some more news, so hit subscribe. I don't know if I'll be able to read it unless enough of you subscribe. He was brown. Are we really going to debate the color palette of Jesus right now, folks? I mean, Christ. Let's just all agree he wasn't a white guy, okay? Trolling some tool in your comments is all. Oh, board nurse. Well, you go right on ahead. You troll away. Might have to give you that little blue wrench if you keep trolling people in the comments. I love it. I love it. Let's see. 1 Peter 2:18. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only those who are good and considerate, but also those who are harsh. So, this is the old Jesus endorsed slavery thing. But let's break this down. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, again, it's exhausting that some people do this. So, again, hold on, Peter. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters. That's the first part. That's the gist that you need to get, because who was it? I'll just call him Dum Dum Magoo. Dum Dum Magoo thinks that, again, this is not, hold on. Is that in red? Where's my Bible? I don't want it in New International. Where's my amp? Where's my amp? There we go. Amp. Okay, so I don't think this was, you could go to Amplified Bible. That's usually what I read because it gives you a little more context. And underneath in the footnotes, it says the Greek refers to household servants who may have been well educated and managed the estate. So essentially what this is not an endorsement, but it's saying for Christian slaves to even endure unjust suffering with patience and submission out of respect for God and Christ. Rather than calling for the rebellion or advocating for the continuation of slavery. And this wasn't, hold on, because I don't even believe this was one of the things Christ said. I don't want to go get my Bible, but it's not in red there. So again, these people, and I do mean these people, they love to manipulate. But you know, it's an age-old thing. As long as the Bible's been out, people have been manipulating it for their means. But now that we've dispelled that, where's my thing for that? Ooh. That was a hit. Jesus ain't going to jail for anybody, but his followers did. Somebody, Jesus is a metaphor, an ideal that we should try to reach. If you get 50%, you're J-Lo 666. And listen to J-Lo with the 666 in her name. Some of you, that number terrifies you, which is dumb, because Jesus also told you do not fear. So I don't fear any of this shit. Like Bernie Mac. Yeah, Bernie Mac. I almost called him Bernie Sanders. Like Bernie Mac Sanders said, I ain't scared of none of you. But J-Lo puts a great message out there. Jesus as a metaphor, which I think, that that's a great interpretation. Freedom of religion while we still have it. Freedom of interpretation, freedom of speech. So J-Lo, I don't agree. I think he was a man that walked on the earth. But saying genius is a metaphor and ideal that we should try to reach is beautiful. It's 4 sixes. Oh, I only see 3. Unless the L and the O make the other 6. 700 Bibles in the world, all the religions, basic principles stated is love one another, and you're worried about this, the fluff around it? Elaine, well, you know, that's why usually a lot of the time when people come twisting Jesus's words that weren't his words, but recorded by somebody else a few hundred years later, which was all of it. But when you take the red ones to mean what he said, which were the radical message that was still radical to this day, love your enemy and love your neighbor and treat everybody as your neighbor, is a radical message that even to this day, when we talked about the owning of the libs earlier, these people that want to own their neighbors, you know, again, we fought a civil war on that. Disputed, solved. Disputed, resoluted. That's what we should say. Disputed, resoluted. So we figured out, you know, the Civil War was bad. The South, when they became the Confederacy, they were foreign, traitorous enemies of America. So don't wave that flag around. You know, burn it and then pee on it to put it out, because that's all that flag is worth. Or you could give it to someone as toilet paper. That's a great gift. The Confederate flag is toilet paper. Have you thought about that? Although I wouldn't spend money on a Confederate flag, so you just might as well, I don't know, not have one. Because again, they were foreign, traitorous enemies of America, not your heritage. Wouldn't brag about that. I would try to learn from it. James, 100% wrong. 100% wrong. You're just filled with hate and fear. You're an old-minded, fear-filled human. You know, you can't live in the land of the free and then not want people to be who they are. Okay? Little advice from a younger person. But we got to get to... Hey, what's up, Mario? Good to see you. When and if you get to heaven, you're going to have to sign up for a job. That's wrong. Jesus said he has a house. There's no jobs in heaven. He said, you come to my Father's house, I'll prepare a room for you. So I already told him I want PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6 in that room, Fortnite, you know, some cool black lights and a lava lamp. I already told Jesus what I'm on my room looking like. So are you a northerner? Jesus Christ, help me, Lord. Are you calling in from the 1850s? I haven't been called a northerner in, oh Christ, since a past lifetime. He said, are you a northerner? Oh my God, that was funny. Thank you for that. Thank you. That was very funny. Okay, we got to get to the stories of the day, folks. First, let's go over this one, because I think we got some MAGA in the house, so I can't wait for them to, you know, get upset because we're talking about the president. Call me a deranged person for following the news. Trump's golf tracking site accuses White House of concealing health issues. What? What? He's the bill of health, guys. Just ask his doctor. His doctor will tell you that there's never been a stronger 80-year-old on Earth. It sounds very much like Kim Jong-un's doctor. But, you know, so did TrumpGolfToday.com announced it will no longer rely on the president's official schedule to log his golf days. But instead, will only update when there is confirmed public sighting of him on the course. Quote, until further notice, golf days will not be updated unless a confirmed sighting of Trump on the golf course occurs. The website reads, the Trump regime is actively narrative crafting information to hide Trump's declining health, including his published schedule to discourage media questions. The website's decision comes amid persistent public concern and speculation about the president's well-being. Based on a 2019 government report, the website estimates that the cost of Trump's golf expeditions, why do they call it an expedition? What is he going on safari? He's just going golfing. Well, I guess at that age, it is like a safari for him, is at $77 million. The president has golfed 55 out of the 228 days in office. This accounts for 24% of his time since the start of his second term. So 1 out of every 4 days, the president is golfing. Working hard or hardly working? Oh, yeah. It's weird. Somebody, Ronald Willis, said, I love Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, so kick rocks. I'll defend him for the rest of my life. Or at least that's how I interpreted what he said. But yeah, so just so you know, the guy who, cares about the workers is spending 1 of every 4 days, 24%, that's a quarter, one out of every 4 days, spending millions of your tax money in golf. But what's worse is now the website that tracks him are saying like, hey, they're putting on his schedule that he's golfing and nobody's seen him at the golf course. So he might be concealing that vampire bite on his hand that we talked about yesterday he was covering up. So I don't know what you guys think, but I remember a lot of people last year being very angry and upset that we had an old senile president. Joe Biden was, I think he's a little younger than Donald Trump. But people were livid. They were like, where is he? They're hiding how his mental decline and all this. And now we have a golf site being like, hey, man, Trump's schedule is saying he's golfing, but nobody's seen him. So we're not going to count it as him golfing unless we see him on the golf course. And everyone's like, yep, okay. I don't know. His hand says MS-13. I knew it, Jeremy. I knew it. That's why he's covering up. Hold on. Let me pull out, and then we're going to talk about Nantucket, okay? Then we're going to talk about Nantucket. Let me pull out the old, here we go. Here was the photo I was talking about yesterday, if you caught the live. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. We're on a vision quest trying to decipher the news. But I think Jeremy's right. As you can see, he's covering up. He did a whole press conference. He's not looking good, by the way. Dennis Amen's hair is way disheveled. You can see the lips, they're looking weird. The raccoon eyes that usually have a better tan line are not as tan. He's got this scruff back here, but what's important is he's been told to hide his hand. That's what we think. Because he did a whole press conference where he was trying to point to people, but he was just standing like this. It looks so weird. People must have been like, they're catching on to you keeping your hands under the desk. So now just hold it over that one. Because I think there's a zombie bite right here. They keep putting makeup on it. You can see all the pictures. But Jeremy said that he's got MS-13 on his knuckles. And that's probably why he had those fingers right here. So you can't see the MS-13. And now that due process is gone, all we have to do is say, he's MS-13, look at his knuckles. Oh, he's hiding them, put him in jail. And that's how it works, because there's no due process. You don't get a court, jury, nothing. You just accuse and abuse. It's like set it and forget it. You guys remember Ron Popeil? He says, you just set it and forget it. You just accuse and abuse, and that's it. And that's the injustice system now. So I think you're right. Oh yeah, look at this. Little George Carlin I found online today. Everyone appreciates your honesty until you're honest with them. Then you're an a-hole. George Carlin. Isn't that the truth? I experienced that here. Ooh, I screenshotted this. Governor Newsom press conference, press offerance, press conference, press rofferous, press riffs, prosperous, press office. Sorry. Speaker Mike Johnson, that piece of garbage right there. You might misconstrue him for, one of the danders on the table, but no, he's right there. He talked about the grand opening of the new Rose Garden Club because they paved over Paradise and put up a parking lot. And Governor Newsom said, after ripping health care from 17 million Americans, slashing food stamps for kids, we're glad Mike Marie Antoinette Johnson and his boyfriends had the time to toast to the grand opening of the Predator patio. So there you have it, folks. That's what they paved over Paradise, Jackie Kennedy's Rose Garden, and they put up the Predator patio. So that's what we're calling it from now on, the Predator patio. And we're going to get to Nantucket. We're about to get to it. Massachusetts has a couple of islands. I like their flag. I don't know why they would put the whale with this big thing hanging out, but it's a weird flag, but it's a cool one. I got to get me one of those flags. That's you know what? Anyways, but yeah, we're going to talk about this little island right here. Massachusetts has some islands up here, some down here. We got a couple in here. We got a few up here. But this is the one we're going to talk about, okay? And if you didn't know, we're going to talk about the home of Megan Elizabeth Trainor. I don't really know her music, but she was like a viral hit. I don't know. Was she on Vine? I don't know where she came from, but she sings a song all about that bass, I think. Is that what the song is? I'm all about that bass. All that bass. No treble. But she's from Nantucket. Who knew? So, of course, she was going to be music god. Now, let's see. So, you understand. Oh, this is what it was. So, fourth quarter 2021, median value of a home in Nantucket County was $1.370522 million, an increase of 22%. Holy schmackash. Ranked the highest in the U.S. by median home value. So, they are wealthy. That is, I've never even been to this fucking island. Okay. But I'd like to storm it like Normandy one day, you know, with the old USS Eat the Rich. That's what it looks like from the map view, just so you can see. You know, it looks kind of like a nose. No wonder they have the old powdered Ozempic problem, because the island even looks like a nose. And I wanted to show you, if you go on Zillow, you can look at homes. Look at this, a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,000 square foot house for sale for only $3.4 million. You know, and you probably can't even see the water from there, and it's an island, and it's still $3.4 million, and it's a price cut. So good on you, everybody. Here's some views of Nantucket. It looks kind of like Martha's Vineyard, and I've been there. But it's beautiful. It looks like if you ever seen the movie Jaws. They didn't film it on Nantucket, but they filmed what was Amityville in Jaws. You ever seen that? That Spielberg joint? Martha's Vineyard was the setting for Jaws. And if you go to Martha's Vineyard, they have Amityville stuff and Jaws merch. And you can maybe, depending on what time of year, you can maybe buy a shark. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. See? Look at that. Almost everybody's got ocean view. Old Nose Candy Island. And then these are what the bros look like. I wanted to share that. They all wear the salmon suits. Which, I mean, I think that's kind of cool. I ain't dogging on it. I'm probably dogging on the personalities behind it. But then again, I don't want to judge a book by its, garbage. And I always think, when I think of Nantucket, because I've never been there, but the few people I know who've gone there, I think of Bradley Cooper from La Wedding Crashore. That movie. Hold on. Let me get to the news story. Ooh. I'm gonna do some meme news after, okay? Because I just saw a couple of the memes that I had to show you. Because remember, I bring you the news in meme form. Information straight to the brain. Scientists are maintaining the easiest way to get information into your brain is meme form. That's why it's so viral. Scientists that I made up. All right, here's the story, folks. What is it called? Hold on. What's it called? The Bolivian pixie sticks, the Colombian brain detergent, the vegan nose caffeine, Tom Segura's powdered Ozempic, the jungle dust, the nose Zempic, the rich man's dust off, the yacht bros nose doze. Levels in Nantucket sewage is 50% above the U.S. average. Health data reveals. Holy crap. So they're doing 50% more than the average Colombian pixie stick user town. That's insightful, to say the least. Let's look. Data from a wastewater surveillance initiative that tracks the presence of high-risk substances in Nantucket sewage revealed ayanya levels that at times have checked in at 50% higher than the national average. Wastewater testing results from June 2025 to August 2025 were recently published on Nantucket's official website. Oh, Nantucket, do you have an official theme song? I would love to write Nantucket's official theme song. I don't know how it would go. I don't have my music thing out. We'll write it next time. We'll write it next week. Okay. So if you guys have ideas, if you're a musician, let's get together. Let's write an official theme song in the spirit of the Yanya. You know, the old, you know, that, the old banana peel sniff. You know what I'm saying? So we got to write them a song. Like if you like blowing in the ocean and blowing cocaine, come on to Nantucket and you'll have half a brain. I don't know. We're just fucking brainstorming stuff. Quit judging me. Jesus. Just hit subscribe. Who else is doing this for you? What is a cat? The cat liked it. Oh, and the cat's trying to be a part of it. We're going to have a cat meowing in the background. And then at the end of the song, it's going to go like this. Live Moss. That might be copyrighted, though. I don't know. Okay, back to it. Nantucket, like communities across the country, is not immune to the growing public health crisis of substance misuse, and overdose. It's weird, though, how, you know, like when it's a rich island filled with white people, they're like, oh, they're not immune to the misuse. But when it's like inner city, they're like, those stupid addicts, put them all in jail. Interesting, right? How the news positions it. I would say all these stupid rich addicts are blowing through their money and supporting the local drug trade, which, I mean, technically, you know, people got to eat. With a seasonal population that can quadruple with the summer, the town faces a unique challenge of managing behavioral health risks. Oh, really? It's funny because, you know, you hear about Donald Trump sending the military to Chicago or to drug-ridden D.C. When is he going to send the military? If all you guys who are supporting it, right, just, you know, this is like 90% white here, wealthy, $1 million median home. I always call it medium rare home. All you MAGAs, are you calling for Donald Trump to send in the National Guard to Nantucket, right? He's going to storm the beaches of Nantucket with the old USS Ronald Reagan and the USS Nixon on the DARE campaign. Dare to take the drugs from the rich people. And then it says, this wastewater initiative, which builds on infrastructure developed during the COVID-19 pandemic, tests for cocaine, the levels in the sewage during the testing period were both above the national and regional average, topping more than 1,500 nanograms of substance per liter at points, the data showed. And then you had people, you know, that were like, can I just get a hit of that sewage? And then they had a bunch of graphs and stuff, which was cool. Wastewater testing provides a valuable and cost-effective way to monitor drug use trends. Here, welcome to your future, everyone. When it's the United States of Palantir, you know, because an 80-year-old can't live forever, and an old Just Dance Vance takes over, and it's the United States of Palantir, and they're like, we're monitoring your sewage wastewater to see what you're doing. And then they're just going to send in their Judge Dredd drones to get rid of you because due process is gone. Like, I'm joking, but, you know, read in between the jokes. All right, what are people saying? Hold on. What are people saying? Only cats can get degrees. I agree, Jimmy. We got to fight for the rights of dogs. I said I'm going to get my cats degrees. Once we put in millionaire's tax and everyone who doesn't have a bachelor's degree here in Massachusetts can go and get a bachelor's degree, I'm sending my cats to college. Red, you really can't see the irony? Boy, you're dense. Old Red. Drump does speed every day. Scott Gurkitz. Gurkitz. Really? My Democrat town in Illinois already does it. Yeah, a ton of... Okay. Maybe I make too many jokes. You know, I'm told that a lot. They're like, we can't tell when you're serious. Yeah, when I was reading the news part about the wastewater initiative that was developed during the 19 pandemic, that's like a thing. That's how they managed to figure out what towns were going through the hot streaks, were they calling them hot streaks? So yeah, a lot of places do that. A lot of places. Jason Gambrell. Jokes are funny, and you are too. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Again, I don't have my glasses on, so I don't know exactly what you said, but sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Yep, Trump does why he poops in diapers. I love it. I love it. That's going to be the next thing, the MAGA diaper. He's going to be selling that next to his MAGA meme coin. It's going to be like, you can get the same diaper I poop in every single day. Do you have incontinence? Is that what it's called? Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Yeah, what does this mean? Inability to control bladder. Oh, I was right. Oh, it's called fecal incontinence. That's the preferred doctor term. That's why you go to medical school, because you learn that. And they say you can't just call it diarrhea. You can't just call it dementia diarrhea. You have to, because that's what like the laymen say. Laymen are like, oh, he's got the old case of dementia diarrhea. He's just pooping his undies. And then you go to doctor school for, I believe, 26 years. And you have to get like 6.4 billion in debt in America. In Cuba, it's free. A lot of Americans go to Cuba because they have the lung cancer vaccine, but they also train you to be a doctor for free. But here in America, you take about $64 trillion out in debt. You can never pay it back. You can never dismiss it. You can't be bankrupted out of you. And you learn that dementia diarrhea is also called fecal incontinence. So you learned something today, okay? Yeah, that's what they say, John. They say old Trump can't hold his mud. But then you go to doctor school and you go, oh, sorry, he does fecal incontinence in his diapers, because then you pronounce things better. Reminds me of the ear tampon. Yep, remember that, Tim? They're all going to be wearing them in solidarity. They were all wearing the ear tampon in solidarity. And I'm just waiting, because, you know, old people have mistakes all the time. And, I mean, it's just natural. It's a part of life. We're all flawed. But for the humans that are like, I'm perfect, I've never done anything wrong, this is the most perfect regime you've ever encountered, it's funnier because they fracture. They shatter into a million pieces if they're ever accused or admit to making any mistakes. So that's why it's so funny, you know, if he's ever on TV and just poops his pants. Like, it's got to happen at some point, right? It's got to. It's the Chillmark diaper. Chillmark, isn't that a place in Martha's Vineyard? I'm pretty sure it is. I believe there's already a meme of an old lady in a golden Trump diaper. I believe it. They got the Trump shoes. Think about this presidency. He's capitalized on everything. Then we got to get to the meme news. But first, you have to hit subscribe. It's YouTube law, which is not a common law. It's like maritime law. YouTube law is much different. I'm studying in the art of YouTube law. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I love bringing you the news. Fecal matters. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, this president is grifting his way to the grave, as they say. Who is they? Not sure. I saw this, which I thought was funny. Somebody said, hey, I've never played a video game before. Does the government putting the leader's head on a giant banner mean he's the good guy? That's funny. That's funny. That is a funny thing. Jeremy Giambi in the tweets, in the chat, he was talking about jokes. He would like this joke. He would like that one, if Jeremy Giambi's still here. And then I wanted to point this out. The U.S. has lost 42,000 manufacturing jobs since Liberation Day. Remember when he started the tariffs? Like, you know, somebody with ADH dementia, where they're just like randomly like, I don't know what stuff means, but I'm just going to throw numbers and act tough. And hopefully people don't know anything and they can just be like, ooh, sounds cool. Well, it turns out, you know, just acting tough and not knowing stuff isn't good. So there's way up here is Liberation Day. And then this, when it goes down, that means somebody lost their job, somebody lost their job, somebody lost their job, families are hungry, can't afford my mortgage, oh my God. So that's 42,000 people. Those are your neighbors. You know, that's why when we're like, fuck Trump, we mean it, you know, because he doesn't care about American workers. These are American jobs. These are people that can't afford their mortgage, can't afford their school payment, can't afford their lunch, can't afford their house, can't afford their rent, can't afford, you know, can't afford egg, can't forget egg. That was very important last year. And some of them haven't even said thank you. So I wanted to bring that to you. Bringing it to ya now. I feel like we're on a old-fashioned sitcom. Bringing it to ya now. The Awesomeness 29. I appreciate you saying tuck frump, because I sometimes vulgarity, like there's this thing called justified violence, and sometimes there's justified swear words, because all these MAGAs that said not my president, the election wasn't real, and then they were like, the election's totally real now, and they're like, my president. Sometimes you have to use the actual words, because they did this whole thing there where they were like tough guys, but they said, let's go Brandon. I still can't wrap my mind around it, because I'm like, you guys say F your feelings, but then you're like, let's go Brandon. Do you guys get what that means? So like, that was really weird, because if you just don't like someone, just say fuck him. Like, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Donald Trump, like, for the free speech people. I just didn't understand, you know? You guys were like, F your feelings, but let's go you know? Like, it was just so weird. It was so beta cuck, skibbity risma of you. Money Mike Slick Will. You want boys and girls sports? Oh, Chief, let me read that, because old Money Mike Slick Will, I like to bring up, there's this movie. It was from the 1990s called The Mighty Ducks, and girls played in boys' sports, and it was indoctrinating all of us, as you like to say now. These people are so fragile, because, again, let's premise this with, I don't know what the fuck boys and girls sports has to do with the economy sucking and America losing due process, but okay, let's entertain this distraction. There was this actor, Emilio Estevez. You might remember him from such things as Emilio, and D1, The Mighty Ducks, and D2, The Mighty Ducks 2. And Slick Willie Mike, that was a Disney movie that kids watched. I watched. I would rollerblade and play street hockey, just like they did in D2. I loved it. And there were girls on the boys' team in both movies. And in the second movie, they went to the Junior Olympics and played, and nobody had a hissy fit. Politicians weren't like campaigning on, we got to get these girls off the D2 team. This is woke Disney indoctrination, and you know, we've had it. Like, that didn't happen. We weren't a bunch of soft pansy ass whiners complaining about girls and boys sports when, you know, people were losing their homes. Did you see the stat I just did? 42,000 manufacturing jobs lost. Those are real people losing their jobs. Like, these are real adult issues, but it's okay. You want to, like, you know, patty cake around with these distractions where it's like, well, if there's a boy in a girl's sport, how am I going to afford my mortgage? Like, you know, I don't understand how you're equating those two. So you're saying if we just kept boys and girls in their own sports, the economy improves? America gets due process back? The president won't be corrupt? He won't be hawking meme coins? I don't find the correlation, but again, just for entertainment's sake, yeah, we've always had shit like this. Like, they put in, it was so fucking popular, it was in 2 probably really highly rated on IMDb movies. And you should go back and watch them. you might have a panic attack. You might be like, there are fucking 2 girls on this hockey team and I ain't standing for it. We got to get it off the Disney playlist. You know, they don't have a trigger warning on D1 or D2. They're not like, hey, for you people who are like really sensitive about kids sports, trigger warning. So it's just weird. But thanks for the question, Mike. I hope, you know, that isn't hindering you from paying your mortgage, you know? God forbid. If they were like, if this guy plays in the WNBA, no one's going to be able to pay rent anymore. You're going to see rent skyrocketing. Or, you know, whatever age. Again, if you're concerned about the age I'm talking about, you're missing the point. I don't think we should be having a conversation. You should probably go to Charlie Kirk's channel, old Chuck Kirk, where he likes to debate. Or is it Tim Above Ground Pool? Which one is it? One of them has culture war as an emblem. I'm not here to fight the culture war because that's a distraction from the class war that's happening. MAGA, Blue Dragon 202. Love Blue Dragon 202. 203, not that great, but 202 is the one. MAGA, can't play rent or buy food, but I'm so happy Trump fixed my sports games. Exactly. Thank you, Eamon. Oh, good to see you, Eamon. Go to Eric Cartman's YouTube podcast, or was it, who was doing the podcast instead of Cartman? That Cartman was jealous of. And that was the old Chuck Kirk podcast ripoff. I would like to see an all-girls NFL team go against an all-male NFL team. Well, listen, I'm old enough to remember when the wrestlers started the XFL, and then they had a women's football league. Like, guys, none of this shit should matter. Like, who cares? There's like been the trope of like the female makes the sports team as the kicker and saves the game with the field goal. It's like, guys, none of that shit matters. If you're voting on a president because of sports, like your right to vote should be revoked. You shouldn't be able to vote because like politics, I know you want politicians to like regulate sports, but like that's not really what they're doing. You know, most of the time they're there to like regulate the companies that they trade stocks on and grift the people out of all of our money. That's sad, as they say. Okay, guys. Well, that was all the news. Michael O, good to see you. Amen. Girl on the spectrum. Good to see you. I'm just wrapping up, but I'm so happy you made it. Hopefully you've hit the notification bell after you hit subscribe. Join me. I'm Rob. We are on, where is it? A Vision Quest. Oh my God, it's starting to storm out bad. Oh yeah, it got real dark and it's only 5. Oof. I gotta go get ready for the storm. You know. And if there's a storm by you, grab some tea and go sit and watch the rain. Just listen to the rain for like 10 minutes. Just enjoy yourself. I want you to remember, life is but a dream. No, that's not it. I want you to remember, F a dream job, just dream. Just go do something that you love for a few minutes. If you're so busy hating on women playing guy sports and guys playing women's sports and that's like ruining your life, I want you to take 5 minutes, okay? It's like I teach my kids. I want you to take a couple deep breaths, go outside, go look at something beautiful, and just go, oh. Like, nobody's going to put on my gravestone like he fought to keep men out of women's sports. Like, no one gives a shit. Do you want, when you die, your loved ones, if you have any, to be like, oh, he really fought against men playing women's sport? Like, no, stop being pathetic, okay? That's why I say I'm your vibe coach, because some of you need a vibe coach. Like, just stop, okay? Please. You got to cut it out. Nobody's going to give a shit. Nobody's going to be like, he was the best culture warrior there was. You're going to be forgotten. So please, you know, go paint. Go do a haiku. Write a song, dance. Just go into your living room and dance. Put on Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. Get in front of a mirror. Try to teach yourself. I saved this video of how to moonwalk because I can kind of do it, but not really. And just listen to Man in the Mirror and stare at yourself in the mirror and go, what the fuck is my deal? What is my major malfunction that people are losing their jobs in record numbers? And I'm concerned with sports. Who's playing whose sports? Who's on whose first? Who's on first? I'm concerned with who's on first, and thousands of Americans are losing their jobs. Okay? Post some badass pictures of lightning. I'll put on the Discord. Okay. Oh, you will? Yeah, I'll try to get some stuff and I'll post it on the Discord. By the way, we have a Discord if you'd like to join us there. Uh-oh, she's taking the kittens out. I gotta go. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Mama Cat, stop it. She's trying to move the kittens. If you hit subscribe and the notification bell, maybe I'll show you some kittens tomorrow. All right, much love to you guys. Be kind to one another. Michael, good to see you. Alma, Chief, J-Lo, Gal on the Spectrum. Good song, Man in the Mirror, correct. And for you guys who are, you know, still hating on your neighbor, I encourage you, listen to what Jesus said. Love your neighbor. Stop wanting others to suffer, because it's the only thing that makes you feel anymore. All right, guys. Much love. Later.